Welcome, guys. Matt the Cruiser from Network Empire. I'm the CEO of the company, and I'm super excited to share this workshop with the Magic Page community today, as I believe what I'm going to show you is going to empower you and give you the courage to go out and build your empire of online businesses starting today. So what we're going to basically do is we're just going to cover Digital Marketers Toolbox. I'm going to quickly walk you guys through how we use the tool, and then how we take that data that we've mined and how we integrate that into Magic Page to make great Magic templates that actually convert and generate leads for our business. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy the show as we build this directory live. Okay, so why Digital Marketers Toolbox? Well, number one, Digital Marketers Toolbox is a data mining tool that we developed that helps us zoom in and out of markets. When we speak of markets, think of words like Apple. When you think about Apple, you can either think about the fruit, which is the food market, or you could think about Apple, the device, which is the tech market. So when we speak of markets, we're talking about single word phrases, and that encompasses the big idea. Now, typically what we've discovered over the years with Network Empire, as we've had thousands of students come through, is how to do online market analysis. And to make it very simple, we're not going to use big fancy words, but rather we're going to show you guys how we used Digital Marketers Toolbox to simplify the process, to do all the tedious hard work, all the collating, all the filtering, sorting, and how we just push in a few buttons, fill in a few parameters, analyze what we're interested in, and then how DMT pulls the essence out, which we can then take and build into our marketing templates. Now, DMT, Digital Marketers Toolbox, does basically 80% of the work, but you need to use the 20%. You need to know what you're selling, and you need to think about who you're selling to, which is the most important thing. So, number two, time is money. The more time we save on repetitive, tedious tasks is more time we can spend about thinking about our marketing campaign and how we connect with our customers and our audience. How do we make our products better? How do we increase our conversions? And this is essentially where our SEO stackable framework system comes in that you'll get shown today. And with this, that brings number three forward, which is productivity. Digital Marketers Toolbox is designed to give you an edge over your competitors. It gives you the average digital marketer a unique advantage. Why? Because we can zoom in and look at a specific domain, or we can zoom out and look at multiple domains. We can zoom in and look at a specific keyword theme. That's a list of keywords that are around a topic, or we can zoom out and look at the collective. And now that we have this ability to have these different viewpoints of what's going on in a specific market, what does this mean? It means we can essentially go forward and look at the landscape, look at the lay of the land, see who the big competitors are. We can see how they're building their pages. We can reverse engineer. We can join their funnels. We can buy their products. The point I'm trying to make is with Digital Marketers Toolbox, it allows us to see how the lay of the land is, and then from that we can decide what we're going to target, which means, one, we can create our own paths. We can build websites that are different to our audience. Why? Because we will discover opportunities that they've not considered. Okay, so Magic Page. Why Magic Page? Magic Page is a fantastic, powerful tool when you think about it in its right context. Many people come along and they'll buy the plugin and they'll think of it as a mass page generator. But I want to slow you guys right down today and give you potentially a different perspective of how you can use this as a component that fits into a bigger machine. Okay, so at Network Empire, what we're going to cover in today's workshop is how we use Magic Page and Digital Marketers Toolbox. At Network Empire, you look at plugins as components that we plug into our network that delivers a specific functionality and improves deliverability and reach for the brand or the project that we're working on. If any plugins are nice to have, but they don't actually meet the criteria above, being i.e. 1, they are functional, 2, they keep our website light and lean, so it's not slowed down, we don't use them. Okay, so in this workshop, the components that we've used, i.e. the WordPress plugins that we've used, One, we're going to be using Digital Marketer's Toolbox, which is our analysis tool. We build our blueprint with that, and that framework that we create will then get imported into WordPress using our video silo plugin. We're going to use WPX hosting. We're going to be using WordPress, Elementor, Elementor Pro, and of course Magic Page. That's at the heart of what we're doing. For the guys who got Lead Simplifier is another component that we use that manages our lead communications. Okay, so you can see how we're plugging in what we need that delivers a specific functionality. Okay, website architecture. Why website architecture? Number one, siloing is an SEO technique that creates topically and contextually relevant keyword-related web pages on your website. That's the big idea. It organizes your data or your topics in a structured way, and it gives the person building the website the ability to manage his blueprint and the way the traffic comes in an efficient way. Because why? You can segment through the language. So what we're going to do today is show you guys how to use our hybrid system, where we essentially have our index, which is the homepage, the big idea. Then we've got our contextual silos. These are the information-based topics that we can use. And then obviously we've got the second silo, which is the geographical silo. And this is where the magic page is going to come in. Okay, so if you just have a look over here, contextual. So we talk about specific things within a silo. So you can see the market segment 1 to 3 words. Why? This becomes site navigation. So we want our users to clearly be able to choose between what they're going to be focused in on. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at market segments. These are our subtopics or categories. And then obviously you got your posts and supporting articles. And these are typically your long tail phrases. Now, when you think about this, you're thinking about the URL architecture. And that's where website architecture comes in. What's great about Magic Page is it's a dynamic landing page generation tool. And with this, we can create our golden frame stacks. Why we call it the golden frame? Number one, we control the hosting. So we control the header, the footer, and the site navigation. Plus, we can control the content that comes in. Because of this, we can inject our own advertising, our own banners, and we can inject our own funnels into that frame. And that's why it's called the golden frame. You control it. If you're on a third-party platform like Facebook or any other places, they control the frame and they can just turn you off at any point in time. So when you control the frame, that means you control the revenue. Now, if you look at this, on either of the silos, by using persuasion stacking, we can control the narrative. We can introduce service providers. We can introduce products. We can introduce places of interest. And we can introduce related services. And the reason why we do this, especially when we're doing dynamic landing page generation, is because you don't want to have 10, 20, 100, or 1,000, however big you want to make it, of the same kind of page, just tumbling a few words. The end result is you'll probably end up with 70% of your pages getting de-indexed because they're too similar. Google's just going to filter them out and choose the ones that are the most unique. Okay, so with that in mind, the next thing we quickly cover when it comes to website architecture is structured data. So on the left, you can see content blocks. And this is the persuasion stacking template method that we spoke about earlier. All we're doing is we're getting the person's attention. We're speaking to their interest. And there's a bunch of things we can do and talk to over there. We're speaking to their desire, to their action. And then obviously through this process, we're leading the guys into a call to action that gets them to go into our funnel. Once they're in our funnel, they move across into the back end. And that could be an email sequence. It could be delivering them a product. It could be putting them into a drop shipping list. It could be redirecting them to an affiliate. Whatever you want, you can do it with a system, right? And this is why it's repeatable. When you think about website architecture, essentially what you're doing is on your index page, you're going to bring all the big ideas to the top of the homepage because that's where you get your most traffic. So everything that's super important will come to the top. When you drop down into an actual silo, the only place that the silos are all present is via the index page. And this is why we call it the golden thread that ties all the silos together. On the silo pages, you can essentially highlight the top categories, highlight the top products that are associated with the silo, or you could highlight the top people you want to get leads on a specific directory. All right. So on this, you'll be helping the person that comes to the website decide and find what they're looking for. So if it's in the auto industry, it could be accessories, it could be parts, it could be a new car. If we're looking at legal, it could be the different types of legal services. It could be DUI, it could be divorce, it could be litigation, it could be property. All right, so that's how we segment traffic. Now, when you think about this, as people come in and hit your home site, they choose the segment of that market they want to go down into, and then when they get to the category, they basically found the area they're in. Think of this as a buying cycle. When we're creating posts, we're creating about a post that's complete about a specific topic. So if we're speaking about a computer at the post level, speak about that specific model. The reason why, we want to have one page throughout the entire structure that speaks about specific things. Okay, we'll get deeper into this as we move along in the next part of the call when we jump across to start actually building the site. So now that we understand the content and we understand how we're stacking the information, you can start seeing why we talk about a stackable system. As we move through DMT, you're going to see we are at different stages collating or gathering different bits of information. Then we're compiling the information, and then we're refining the output of the information, which then goes into WordPress. And then obviously from there, we put in all the marketing and turn it on and get it live and start pushing traffic and waiting for it to get organic traffic. All right. So Digital Marketing Toolbox gives you structured data for your digital marketing activities. As we said, Rome was not built in one day, and coming back to a digital product over time is typically hard. So you've gone, you build a site, you put it live, you've been away for a few months working on other things, you come back, what is this all about again? You start looking. What's great about Digital Marketing Toolbox is we focus on the market and market blueprints. And with the market blueprint, we can customize and always update and refine. Rather than rebuilding the wheel the whole time, all we're doing is we're making it better. Okay, so fortune favors the brave. And just to give you an idea of how the system works, our SEO stackable system, you can see on the May 1st, 2021, with our Network Empire members, we are doing a series where we actually created another business. We turned the site on, and you can see how the search engines have responded to it. This is a new business idea, and now we're in the game of business. All the events are logged, and these are all the phone calls that are getting made over time. So nothing's impossible if you approach a problem with a solution-based mindset. And Digital Marketer's Toolbox gets us the answers that we need as we run through our SEO stackable system. Magic Page comes into the play to help us work extremely efficiently, because instead of creating 50,000 pages, we're focusing on one page that speaks to our specific audience that we're targeting with the website. And we're delivering to the people in those geographical areas the services or the products that they need. All right, so just think about Magic Page as a tool that can dynamically present information. And what's important about it is that you are speaking to an audience. Don't worry about the geolocations, worry more about the audience, because the tool, the plugin, takes care of all of that. So remember, we're in the game of business. Our game is to create leads, create conversions, create sales. And this is how we're going to use the tools to do this. So just to summarize what Digital Marketer's Toolbox is, it's been developed to give digital marketers an edge. We've built it for ourselves. What does it do? It gives us our time. Instead of spending hours filling with spreadsheets and jumping from one tool to another tool, we're basically running through our production line. We're working with a smart, repeatable, stackable system that is lean yet scalable. Why? Because with the way we bolt onto websites, we can come back and add more, come back and add more, come back and refine. And we don't have to keep on re-drilling and doing the same work. We're coming to the market, extracting what we want from that, and we're deploying. So we get to the market faster. And most important benefit is it's actionable. We can use this data to actually deliver and deploy things, and it's at our fingertips. So is DMT a push button system? No. It's a system that lets you work smarter and stops us from working harder. So yes, we do have push button. It's very automated. It does 80% of the work, but you need to have the 20% of the work. All right, guys. So in the next section now, we're going to jump across into quickly walking you guys that are new into seeing how the production line works. We're not going to run through the tool. It's just basically a bunch of slides showing you how we hop through the stages to get to the end result, which is the actual website. Okay, guys. So Digital Marketer's Toolbox works in the following way. For every market that we go into, we create a blueprint. The functionality of when you log into Digital Marketer's Toolbox is simple. You're going to land on the dashboard, and on this left-hand side here is your production line. This is the navigation. It's going to start at the top. You're going to follow the hashtags, and you're going to work your way down. Sometimes you may come across a screen when there's no results, no data. It just means that SEMrush has basically not returned any results for that. If you find that there is a problem or something, let us know. But the way this works is very simple. You log in, you're on the dashboard. Click on Blueprints and fill in the market name. Okay, because over time, when you're building different websites, these forms, you'll come back here and update the information, and then on the output, that whatever you update over here will get stuck into things that we need later on at the end. So we create our blueprint, and we'll see it appear as a blue button. We're going to basically open up the blueprint, and then when we open up the blueprint, it gives us the ability to add domains. Every single domain gets added as a project. So when we're exporting information out, should we find a competitor that has a nice subset of keywords that we want to utilize to our advantage, we can simply come and click on that domain, drop down a production line on the left-hand side, go to exports, and we can export all the keywords that they ran for. We can see them. Well, not all, but the amount that we get from when we're adding domains. So the process is very simple. The second form you're going to fill in DMT is on stage 2 on the navigation. We'll just add the domain name, fill in a few parameters, decide how many keywords you want back. We never look more than 1,000, and that's purely because we don't need to have millions of keywords. We focus on language, and I'll tell you more about this as we get deep into this. We add the domain. The domain gets added as a project, and what we do is when we don't have a domain, I typically just use placeholder website.com, and then when I do all my work, I do it within the domain. So think about the blueprint as the box, think about projects as the actual folder, and when we work on our website, we can essentially come in and have all our research data in one place. Remember, you can change these names at any point in time by simply coming and clicking update. So if you get a domain later on, you can put the domain name in there. If you want to have another domain name, you can come and change it to another domain. It doesn't matter. It's not going to mess anything up. And that's what's cool about the system. So once you've got your domain and you've added it, you can see that the navigation opens up here on the left-hand side. Now, number 3 is when we're looking at specific domains, and number 4 is when we're looking at all the data, all the results from the mining. So we have our global reports in number 4, and we have domain-specific reports in number 3. So what we recommend doing is when you're going to go do your keyword research and all your mining and adding domains and stuff, simply come into your website you're working on, which is placeholder website here, and then do all your keyword research in number 5. So like we told you, number 3 is where we add our domains and we can look at that specific domain. So if we find a great domain that's doing a great job, we can add them, we can harvest their top keywords and top pages, we can see where their traffic goes, and then we can also see, more importantly, how their pages are stacked. If they don't have a footprint online that SEMrush has picked up, then you'll get no results returned. So with that said, the next thing we're going to do is go to global reports. And this is where I use global reports all the time. It gives me the ability to have the traditional old keyword list style, and it also gives me the ability to do gap analysis. I can look at the comparison of specific domains, or I can look at them all together in number 4 in the global domains. And over here we can look at the keywords. We can see if those domains have had any PPC ads. We can see theme keywords that we draw out in number 5. We can see our competitive gap analysis. We can see intent used by the domains, or we can see the intent used by keyword research. So what's cool about Digital Marketer's Toolbox is at any point in time, we can go into any of the modules, as we call them. and we can perform any action and add to the analysis. So when you're working with Digital Marketers Toolbox, you don't have to create a blueprint for a customer. Create a blueprint for a market, and if you're doing, say, plumbing in the UK, plumbing in Australia, plumbing in New Zealand, you can use the same blueprint because they're speaking British English, and you can just have to add whatever their customer does and where they are in their localizations. Those things change. But the URL structure and the language won't really change much. Okay, Magic Page takes care of all the geographical keywords. So what's great about the hybrid system with DMT is we can map out the market, and if we need to add geo-localization targets, then we plug in our module, our component, which is Magic Page, and that spawns out the pages that have all that geographical stuff in the URL and in the text. Okay, so keyword research. The whole point of keyword research is we choose a search engine, and we've got the theme name or topic name. We have the keyword we're going after, the target, and then we've got the category where it fits into Google My Business. Try and keep those three similar but different. So if we're talking about apple farms, selling green apples, we want to rank for green apples, and the Google My Business category could be local veg store. They've just added three contextually relevant keywords, and when you add them like that, what happens is when DMT generates your website blueprint, it does most of the, well, a portion of your SEO for you automatically. So as we draw keywords in Digital Marketers Toolbox, we get three tabs. One, it looks at our funnel where we can change our conversions. We can see the theme clustering, so how similar words are together, and we can see the value of those keywords. And then obviously on the theme analysis, we can see the average search volume, maximum search volume, total searches for the entire stack of keywords. So we've got 500 there. And then we can see over here what the average spend is. When we click into this, then we can look at the related keywords, the phrase match, and the top 10 competitors, as well as a few other things there, the backlinks and all that kind of stuff. So the next thing that we do is once we've drilled into all the topics, so if let's say we're doing legal, we could have legal services, we could have DUI, we could have the different ones. You only have to drill into those top ideas, the one or two word phrases. So over here you can see we drilled into keyword research. We didn't go long tail. What that does is it brings us all the language back that's relevant to that topic. Then we can take that language and we can integrate it into our Magic Page templates. So everything we do in the production line, starting at the top, working our way down through the stages, every stage stacks on top of the stage afterwards. That information we gather, that information we add, we're extracting that and we're utilizing it as we're moving on through the production line of building the website. So the Keyword Theme Manager module is very powerful. It does your keyword theme research, mining for you. It does a complete and series of tasks that organize your data, and it shows you where the money and the traffic flows through the market. So like we said, we recommend you guys use one or two word phrases. Okay, it's like green apple or apple mac, and then that gives you all the peaks and the troughs for that specific keyword. So the next thing that happens is as we're going through our production line, now we've dropped down to website architecture, and this is a really cool feature. Once we draw our keywords in keyword research in number 5, we can go to number 6, website architecture, and we can create the website framework, and this will automatically generate an outline of where the traffic flows if the theme keyword that you targeted exists in the list. If it doesn't exist, we can also manually add our own silos, and I'll show you guys how we do that as we go through the live build. Okay, so you got the ability to look at your domain keywords over here. That's all the domains you added as projects. You have all the ability to look at all your theme keywords, which are all the keyword roles you did in keyword research. You can add custom keywords, and you can also map out the entire structure of silos, categories, and posts. Okay, so you'll see us doing this in the actual one, and in our members area, if you want to really watch how we use this, you can join our Power 1 Hour live workshops that we do every week on Tuesdays between 6 and 7, and you can see what we're doing. So the website architecture module is extremely powerful. It allows you to use your competitors' keywords that you've added as domains. It allows you to do your keyword theme research, and it allows you to create the best website outline for where the traffic flows in the specific market that you're going after. If there's no traffic, cost per click, then there's no chances that people are there. So ranking for long tails has no value if there's no traffic. This is why website architecture becomes important, because we are targeting where the traffic is, and we're creating the website structure, and we're using the language that that market speaks to attract them. Okay, so that's basically what it does. Next one. Once we've done that, we land on content architecture, and this is where we actually go analyze the web, and we're going to see what Google wants and likes for every single keyword that we're targeting within the blueprint. So you'll click on that one button and it'll go and do the analyzation work for you. So this is going to save tons of time. And then what we do is we've got another button here called the DNA braid, and this is where it then interrogates all our analysis and mind keywords and gives us all the top 10 variables that potentially will work well for each page. So if you think about what we've just done, we've come into DMT, we've created a blueprint, we've added our top domains, guys who dominate the market, so we can extract what is best. We've drawn to keywords, we've then mapped out the URLs, the website architecture. We've then come and analyzed what's the best words for the content, and now we're going to go and actually build the website. And once we've done that, as we come to build the website, remember Google ranks one page at a time. And it's what we put into the page that makes the difference. DMT's managed the website silo architecture, the URL architecture, and the internal linking is all done automatically for you. It's what we put in the page now that makes, one, the customer buy, and number two, tells the search engines clearly what we are. So like I said earlier, it all comes back to the audience. Who are we selling to? When folks search online, typically they're after one thing, but they're also interested in other things. Sorry, I said hiccup there. And where we know what all the related topics are, we can really create great pages that answer all the person's questions and gets them in contact with the right person that can give them the best potential service. So what's great about Magic Page is it allows us to focus in on one template, one group of people, and it also allows us to introduce upsells or related topics that can lead them off to other websites that are ours or our partners. So you've got complete freedom to create any marketing campaign utilizing the Digital Marketers Toolbox to understand how the market's laid out, and then we can use power tools like Magic Page that can quickly generate pages where our audience is at in live and real time. Now, our results have been really good with Magic Page. This is why I've stopped to actually make this video, because I believe it can help a lot of people get their businesses off the ground. All right, so if you think about what we've done with our hybrid system, we essentially creating content that our market loves. And how do we know that? If I'm talking about keyword research, I know that people want to know how to do keyword research. I know they want to conduct, perform. I know that they want to use specific tools. I can see the questions they're asking. We can see what are related keywords. And from this, we can start building out our templates, our content templates. And we build content templates that our markets love. Once we have these content templates in place, i.e. stacking out all the H tags, H1, H2, H3 of what's important for each page, making note of what media types that specific page must be built for, and who the audience is, when we export this out into WordPress, we've got all our notes with us. Doesn't matter if we're exporting one website or if we're exporting 50. We can use the same XML to build multiple types of websites, and I'll show you more about that a bit later on. All right. So how do we export out of DMT once we've done this process? We're simply coming to the end of our production line at stage 8, export. We're going to click on the export manager, and we're going to click on XML for WordPress Silo Builder. We can also export by domain. So when we come to our projects, we change the project from one domain to another, we can go grab what keywords there are in CSV and then pull it across to use in other tools as well. So this is what's super awesome about Digital Marketers Toolbox. I come in, I export, I grab my XML, and then I hop across to my website. I go to the video silo plugin, I go to my silo importer, and I just click browse, point to where my file is, I set it to drafts. If I want to have the shortcode on each page for my internal linking, because I'm not using columns, I can turn this on. This will inject the shortcode, which will then automatically inject the silos category pages and then the category pages posts that are nested underneath it. I I typically turn YouTube videos off. I don't want those. And then over here, I decide, depending on what content template I've created, I can choose at what layer of the website, what part of the XML I can use. Okay, so I click import, and what happens is this will go off and create all your pages, it'll create all the categories, and if there are posts mapped out, it'll create all the posts. So when we go through this process, I'm going to actually just take you guys through how we set up the magic page and then how we create the template. So what's great about the WP Silo plugin is it's designed to build the pages, the categories, the posts that are mapped out from the XML. You've also got the simple manual silo builder, so if I need to add 1 or 2 pages quickly, I can click on that. I just select the parent node, and then I fill in the keywords, press bold, and it will map out those pages for us. This plugin is designed to manage the internal linking of all your pages. You can add this to an existing site, or you can have it on a brand new site. If it's an existing site, you can simply bolt on the actual silo to your top navigation utilizing appearance, menus, and then pointing to where that actual silo page is. And that'll connect it to the website. You don't have to change anything else there. So it's very nice to integrate. So what you can see here is we are actually building more with less. As we're building more with less, we've got smaller footprints, we've got bigger gain, we've got less plugins, and we've got less variables, less things that can go wrong. So what we're going to do today is we're going to work smart. We're not going to work hard, and we're going to build smart. And I'm going to show you that when we use Digital Marketer's Toolbox, it gives us the know of the lay of the land. With this knowledge, it gives us power, and it helps us keep an edge. Why? Because we can build websites that cover a wider visibility index than anybody else. So in the next section, I'm going to basically walk you guys through the build, and there's going to be a bunch of questions that we're going to ask. Not much, but you'll see how quickly we can stack together these ideas and then come out with a directory at the end. So what we're going to build today in this exercise is a law directory for law services. We'll just do that. I think that'll be quite cool. Okay guys, so let's start at the end in mind and just remind ourselves why we're doing this exercise. This imagery I'm showing you here is from a live build that we did recently, and you can see here we launched it just in May, took off and exploded. There's the site there, what you're seeing there, this is the site over here. The red are all the competitors we've added in, and the blue is the Google My Business property that is running with that. So if you look at the visibility compared to the competitors in that space, with the way that we're building using Digital Marketer's Toolbox, the search engines are giving us a much wider visibility. Why is that? Well, it's because of the internal linking through the video silo plugin. How we're interlinking, it's the website architecture, how we're creating our pages. And it's not how we're creating our pages using special technology, it's the language that we're using in our copy that is helping the search engines better understand what we're doing and what we're saying. It's the intent that we use in our copy that helps our audience connect better with our pages, which means they take action and they actually do stuff. So you can see this person had come from one new part of their life. They started a new business, brand new business. They started off within literally a few weeks. They've got phone calls, the phone's ringing, the most important thing's done. They can transact. So what we proved with this build using Magic Page and using our hybrid system, that's what we call it, because we're basically using website silo architecture to manage the contextual and the thematical relevance. That's the topics that we're talking about for our audience. And then we're using Magic Page for the service level, where we are targeting specific people in specific areas utilizing the plugin. And this is the result. It works. So in this build, we're going to run through a bunch of steps, and I'm going to show you what the steps are now, and then I'm going to end this video, and then I'm going to build live. When I'm building live, the reason why I've gone through all these slides is that you can go back and look at how I went through the stage, and you'll see how I'm running through the production line, building this out, and then how quick we can get to the end point. All right. So what we're going to use today to build Network Empire's hybrid business stack is we're going to use DMT, we're going to use the SEO stackable system, which is the questions we're going to roughly ask now in the process. we're going to use the video silo plugin. We can use Magic Page, pagerewriter.com, and we can use some lead simplify. Now, these are the components that are going to get plugged into this stack that we're going to build. And the reason why we're calling it a hybrid is because we're using one plugin to manage the geographical relevance, and then we're using another plugin to manage the internal silo architecture. Okay, now if you think about what Magic Page really does, it creates a virtual silo. So I'm going to explain to you guys how to use DMT to get the service-based keywords out that we're going to feed into DMT and then into Magic Page, and then how we're going to use DMT to actually create the topical pages and where the topic interest lies. All right, so we're going to go through a bunch of steps, and it's pretty simple. It starts off with this, with any project. Number one, what are you selling? So we're going to create a legal directory for legal services. So that's why I've just highlighted law, but you can do auto, you can do PPC, digital marketing. There's probably 40 different services in digital marketing you can specialize in. There's device repair, there's glasses. Are your glasses fogging up? Do you need new glasses? Do you need contact lenses? Do you need gel? So can you see where people are looking for specific things or services, and how we can use the Magic Page plugin to show people different products and different services and different locations. The next thing we're going to think about is who we're selling to, who's our audience, because it's the audience we have to sell to. We have to build the tool or the website to provide them with a service that gets them to take action. Number three, we're going to go into DMT. We're going to create our blueprint. We're then going to go drill into the market, which will be legal service or legal, and we'll just start with law, or we'll start from there and look down. And then we're going to add one or two domains, and then we're going to start building up the website. Once we've done that, we're going to map out our website, get the blueprint in place, what we want to target. Once we've done that, we're going to choose what magic silo we're going to use. We're going to add that to our blueprint. And then we're going to create our content templates and our content outline. Export to WordPress. We're going to import the XML that comes out of Digital Marketer's Toolbox into WordPress. That's going to create our pages, our posts, get everything ready. While that's busy getting built, we're going to skip across to Magic Page settings. We're going to set up our virtual silo. And then once that's done, we're going to hop across to Magic Page using Elementor, and we're going to start working on our content templates. Once it's done, you can integrate any funnel that you want to do. For this exercise, I'm not going to do that, but typically you could use Lead Simplify to help manage your funnels or lead distribution for the legal thing. And then the last step is publish your website, get it live. Once you've done that and you've got these basics in place, you can publish it and get it live. Once it's live, you can see if it works. Okay, so one thing I like to say to the guys, a lot of people want to make everything perfect. I don't. I build mobile first. Why do I do that? It's for conversion rate optimization. I like to build lean, get it live, and then we add things as we want to enhance or sculpt our content that brings in keywords and traffic that actually converts. So we sort of start mobile first, get the basics out. That's the first generation, first iteration, and then we come back, update, tweak, and start adding conditional elements to the actual content template. So in the next video, this is where we're going to actually go and do the process and build this out. I'm not going to do all the content for every single page, but I do want to show you how quickly we can get to the end result following our stackable system, where we go through the production line of Digital Marketer's Toolbox to get the information we need to build any type of website that we want. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video.